and welcome back to part 14 of the SBD-5 Dauntless build. We're going to unmask and start assembling and gluing onto the canopy on the plane. We're getting real close, so let's go over and take a look. Oh, okay. Plane is looking really good. Get my sleeves up here. I just started working on the little antennas that hang from the bottom of the wings. Glued the struts that hold them. Painted, pre-painted the actual antennas. Then we'll clip them off and touch them up. Get them on the plane. Propeller's all painted up and it's got a clear coat on it. Ready for decal. And I do have to paint the tips of the thing yellow because I don't think I'm going to use the yellow decals. I don't know. No, I just don't like how they're just not ever gonna set correctly, so I'd rather do that. We got our gun, the double 30 cal for the gunner put together, a little shield, and we'll get that glued in. We're going to set it aside now because I'm going to start working on the canopies. And on the plane, I got the scope in. I got whatever this thing is, hopefully in the right spot because it doesn't really give you good reference. But I think I saw a photo where it was in the window like that. And that's the way it fits. That's the way they're showing it going. So, this is all fixed. It's not loose no more. This still spins. So the engine's all back together right. Put the clear pieces in there. And in there. So those look good. We just gotta scuff those main tires dull. But let's start working on the canopies. I already did the front one. And the one that sits in the center. So we got to do the slider for the front and then the other two. And then figure out how the back three are going to fold in together. So because I think we're going to have to glue the smallest one first. Because each one goes over top of each other. But let's see if we can first get this masking off. Didn't go too bad the first time, but I think I did use my light up close. So sorry if it blocks the view. Get you out of the way further. I'm working with tools that I can't see. I think I used tweezers to get them off before. And these are coming off nice. Just trying not to scratch the windshield. Oh, that one wants to be stubborn. There we go. And what I'm doing and then is just taking some X20A and just rubbing it across. It's a very mild solvent. And it'll clean up any of the green that's trying to peek through. Because I saw it had some spots where there was bleed. And it's cleaned it right up. Because it never got a clear coat to it. So that came apart really good. Oh, this is the double. Yeah, this is the fun one. This top piece is a double. And it really came out really good doing the green interior color first and then the navy blue in the back. I mean, it has a sheen to it, shine, but it really did come out nice that you can see that interior color. But on the other side, it's a navy blue. But it gives the illusion enough, you know. Alright, just 2 more. And then we'll clean them up. This is very thin masking paper. It's kind of like the Tamiya tape. So it's really good masking. But it's so thin. It's even hard for your tweezers to grab. Alright, and just... yeah, there's enough. Don't need a lot of solvent. And this is mild enough that it doesn't fog the windows up or do anything weird like if you used an enamel thinner. As I can see some green and a little bit of blue coming off onto the cotton swab. And I just take the clean end and clean the inside from my fingers touching it. And then I like to run the outside just to pick up any extra. That looks great. Just 2 more pieces. I'm so glad I resprayed the pilot's nose windshield, did the one with the notch, so I could put that telescope in there correctly. That looks cool. It looks like they're displaying each option. Like I have that screen with the targeting on it. For, I guess that's for them to look down through that clear piece on the bottom of the airplane. Like he can look straight through that. I'm assuming that's what that is for. So if he's doing a straight drop bomb, not a dive bomb. Oh, either we got a lot of cracks, or we had a lot of bleeding. And I'm going to say a lot of bleeding because I remember this piece was a weird piece. They gave you like, and this windshield does have a small fracture in it, but that's from the manufacturer too. Because I remember this piece. Yeah. And that weird shape allowed some green to seep through. Green must have been a little more runnier on me. But like I said, this 20XA, and since it's a water-based paint, just cotton swab with some 20XA and not soaking, just damp. Just cleaning that right up. Yeah, it won't bother the exterior paint job with the clear coat on it because it's too mild for that. I think the clear coat's either a lacquer or an enamel base. It smells like a lacquer, so yeah, that worked great. Yeah, I had bleed through on pretty much every window on this. But like I said, a little bit of, yeah, that's a little bit of this. There we go, and clean up that one last piece of windshield. It looks so good. Wow. This is my first time doing this. Canopies. Mostly, Star Trek stuff are small little windows. Or the Enterprise refit had the big windows for the officers' lounge and stuff, but so I guess it's not really the first. But the nice thing about Star Wars stuff is you don't use the glass if you want it to be on that look like a filming miniature model. Even if you're not Canon as far as your paints, it's still not putting the canopy or the clear plastic or glass. Yeah, that one was a mess too because of the sharp turns. Like I said, there is hairline imperfections in this glass. Either there's scratches, deep ones, or they're fractures. Not sure. I don't remember bending them really hard to do that, so came off nice. The other side does. Oh, I already did the other side. Nice. So let me just clean this one up. Do it once over in the whole thing. Take the dry one. Dry it off. And then do the inside. There we go. And that one's going to be, now we got to figure out how they're going to line up. That should be interesting. Because that's finding out where the middle position one sits, and that's this guy. So there's the front half of the canopy. This one goes to open over top of that one. These go inside this one, like that, and this one's inside that one. It'll be something like that. And then this big one goes over top for the pilot. It's a lot of things going on in there. But anyway, I could just put that one and then have that one over top of it and not even put these on and glue that on, and it look just fine. But I want it to look like the real plane and how it collapses amongst itself. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the part or if this is supposed to be the part. No, it's got to be this way. That's another thing, to make sure they close right, because they're kind of hard to tell what way they're supposed to. Oh, I can see that bar situation going. So yeah, okay. But also you could see this. Yeah, that's interesting. That could go. I'll have to look at the instructions too. But yeah, that could go like that. I bet you it does. Yes, it does. Alright, so now that we know the positioning, because that one middle bar in the window goes all the way through. It continues through. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. But that center bar continues through and curves down through this last one. So we just got to remember that does that. So we'll put you like that. Alright, this is the key. This is the center one. Take you off your stand. Put you over here. I think. Alright. let's get this right. Let's spin these around. Make sure we know those two are correct. Let's make sure these two are correct. Is it going to be that or is that? I guess I can look at the picture on this for that too. The thicker end is it goes this way. It goes that way. Yeah, it goes like that. Okay. All right. So that goes like that. Thicker bar is to the center of the plane. So, I guess the best way to find out where it should sit would be to reconstruct it closed. Or opened. Or whatever. You know, however you want to put it. Even though none of that fits. But that's where it would be. So, right at the beginning of the pilot's seating. Which is pretty much, you know, like that. So then in order for this to be in there, you got to be back all the way to there. And then you gotta sit like that. So that's how it's got to attach. So, can we, one by one, semi. See, that's the problem there, is because these almost need to get glued down at the same time. Because it's the squishing of that one that makes this one want to sit correctly. Great. Oh, nothing to it but to glue it. I wish I could use a CA glue. I need to be able to see. If I move that like that a little better, I might be able to see.
Yeah, the opportunity to be able to see these things and almost learn from the painting style and subtlety in the sculpture. But a lot of people over sculpt their age and over paint their makeups that are supposed to be relatively subtle. I think there's an enormous amount of education that's not always shown.
Yeah, well, how do I do the other side? It's fun. And I'm not a lefty. So it's gonna be like, okay, be careful. I want glue everywhere. I can't see this spot. Hi, Jack. Jack has decided he wants to sit with me.
One of the other things I really love kind of heads from Devil's Head. Have you ever checked those out? Sure. Still? Right now, it's a cool little head. These guys are from Devil's Head, and then you later from
Don't knock me around, Jack. Couldn't have found a better time to hop up in the old chair. Seems to be staying pretty good on its own. Hello, what are you doing? You'll make an appearance. There you are. Make sure this is closed, because that's not good for you to breathe in. Crazy cat. Alright. Thank you. Let's go for the... Oops, lost the tire. I'm glad I didn't glue these on yet. But I wanted to make sure I got the flat spot on the tire correctly once I set it down permanently. I'm really happy how this is coming out. That looks really good. Like I said, you can see in there and see the green. You know, like I said, I could easily have eliminated those two from the mix to keep it simple, but it won't look real. That's how this thing really worked. So let's do it the right way. Alright, so that means, yeah, this bar, this is our main piece, and so let's do it. Or should we let those dry and I glue on that front piece? Let's do that. Set up a little better. I think we're good to glue this front canopy on. Wow, that looks really good. Well, I have a phone call, so I will be right back. Okay, now let's get this upper front pilot canopy glued together. Put that over there. Now, make sure it stays where we have it, which is interesting. Like I said, there's going to be some weathering and everything done to this ship, this plane. So I'm not over. Really worried about stuff that may happen from the glue. This glue dries fairly quick as far as wanting to, you know, not being this like jelly form that just keeps sitting there eating at it and has a lot of solvents. The solvents flash over real quick on this, so as long as you don't hit anything directly, it should flash over fast enough that it doesn't do too much damage. A lot of times it's best just to let it sit there and try to blow dry it, you know, unless you have a clear that it won't react to right away, like in under seconds. And otherwise you try to wipe it and it'll leave a mark. Sometimes if you just let it go and let it evaporate, it might lead a weird kind of hint, like a stain almost, but more in that the paint softened and then dried a little different. That's perfect. I like that. And I think this goes with the big end towards the back, because we set this here. That's the way it fits. I still see a little green or something in this corner. It drives me nuts. So, got the first canopy we got to get on there is this guy. So let's make sure she's clean. And the fatter bar goes to the front. That sits like that. Actually, easiest way to check would be to put that on there. And yeah, that's the way it will be. Alright. Alright, let's open this up and get you glued in. There we go. It seems to be working pretty good. Hopefully we're still in good alignment. There we go. Yes, we are. Oh yeah. Might be a hair forward, but it's not going to matter because this is going to go back. Because this will sit right there. Yeah, that's curing already. I like that. So you will sit like this. Now we gotta. Should we push it all the way back like that? Or should we have it a little bit off? I see a little green leaking because of the glue. found its way. Nothing major, but still, it creeped its way up the windows. So how do we want to do you? Feels like it should be like right over top. Let's try doing a little there and a little there and putting it down. And I'm just putting a little pressure because I don't want to break the landing gear. Let's close this up. Hopefully this made this one grab. It's got a lot because there's a lot of those canopies accordion like this, and so it wants to push it off. I think that's what it needed. It still wants to lift in that front. Goodness. I want to keep throwing glue down in there. I don't want to glue the fog windows or start making paint bleed or anything weird like that. There we go. Still a little bit of. I have to do something like this. Like right there, it just went up on the outside of the canopy, but I'm just gonna let it dry. And it usually dries okay. So I wheel again. Let's see if we can. There's too many fragile things getting put onto this plane right now. There's the flat tire there. And what I'll do is I'll just dab a little blue in there. Nothing major happening there. Just a little bit of glue to squeeze out. But like I said, if once I weather this too, it's not. You're never gonna see it. This is all. That looks good. So now, getting this gun on. That's going to be an interesting task. I'm not sure if it goes on the outside or the inside of that. No, but I'm thinking because of the way it's shaped, it goes on the outside here. So it's something like that. I like to do like a slight tilt to it, like that. So let's see if we can do this. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this to stick. It's gonna take a moment because this isn't CA glue. I like the slight tilt. Make sure it's seated in a gluey spot. Yeah, it's good for not really being able to see there. But I see my battery's getting low, so but we're looking pretty good. Canopy's on. 30 cal, dual 30 cal is glued in there. I think the only thing we got left is the propeller and these antenna. And some weathering. Some light chipping. I'm not going to over weather this. I want this to look like it's, you know. We'll do some smoke streaks, and like I want to do a hit here. And, you know, some chipping, and she's been lucky so far. You know. You'll do some streaking, like, you know, and definitely a wash underneath, and just to show her hours of flight. But we won't do anything major. This will be the biggest one to cover this, whatever happened with that decal. But that tells stories. We'll put the little colored spots. I think it's a red and a blue, I want to say. And then we got to run our wire across here and then down to there. And it's done. But it's coming along really good. So thanks for joining me. And I'll see you soon.